In the heart of GeneNova, the world's most renowned biotech laboratory, a discovery shook the foundations of science and medicine. After years of meticulous research, their brightest minds unveiled a drug called Cure-1, a single-dose solution that could eradicate any disease. Cancer dissolved, diabetes reversed, genetic disorders rewritten as if by magic. It was nothing short of miraculous. The announcement swept across the globe like wildfire. The team at GeneNova was hailed as saviors, their names synonymous with hope. Humanity had conquered its greatest enemy, mortality. The first few months were euphoric. Hospitals emptied, funeral homes saw fewer clients, and patients once bound to beds now walked freely into the sunlight. Cure-1's distribution was swift and global, spurred by governments desperate to save lives. Politicians boasted about a new era of health and prosperity. The media celebrated GeneNova's genius, featuring teary-eyed patients who had been given a second chance at life. The world, for the first time in centuries, seemed unified in its joy. But as the fifth month approached, a subtle unease began to creep in. It started with whispers in the medical community. A woman in Paris, cured of stage 4 breast cancer, was found wandering the streets, muttering nonsensical phrases and scratching her skin raw. A boy in Mumbai, whose leukemia had vanished overnight, attacked his father in a fit of unprovoked rage, biting and clawing like a wild animal. These incidents were initially dismissed as anomalies, the inevitable complications of introducing a revolutionary drug to billions. But the incidents didn't stop. They multiplied. Doctors began noticing an alarming pattern. Routine checkups on Cure-1 recipients revealed a dramatic reduction in white blood cells. Patients, once seemingly healed, became vulnerable to even the mildest infections. Cuts refused to heal, fevers raged unchecked, and minor illnesses spiraled into life-threatening conditions. Then came the mental changes. Anxiety and paranoia were the first signs. Patients reported hearing whispers, seeing shadows that weren't there. As days passed, their behavior became increasingly erratic. They lashed out without provocation, attacking loved ones with primal ferocity. The scientists at GeneNova worked tirelessly to uncover the cause. Night after night, they pored over data, reanalyzed the formula, and examined the afflicted. What they found chilled them to their cause. Cure-1, in its quest to eliminate disease, had tampered with the body's fundamental balance. It aggressively targeted not just illnesses, but the very cells that maintained human immunity. Worse, it rewired the brain. Neural pathways were altered in ways no one had foreseen, stripping away layers of human cognition, empathy, and morality. The result was horrifying. Once ordinary people were transformed into violent, feral beings driven by instinct rather than reason. The media called it the C virus. Panic swept the globe as reports flooded in of patients attacking their families, neighbors, even strangers on the street. Entire cities descended into chaos. The infected, those whose white blood cells had been decimated, wandered the streets, eyes wild and bodies twitching unnaturally. They clawed at their faces until skin tore, screamed into the night, and attacked anyone who dared come close. By the 7th month, the world was in freefall. Governments declared martial law, but it was too late. Cure-1 had been distributed to billions, its effects rippling through every corner of the globe. Cities burned as the infected overran military checkpoints. Hospitals became morgues, their halls echoing with the guttural wails of the afflicted. Survivors barricaded themselves in homes, hoping against hope that the madness would pass them by. But the C virus did not discriminate. It found its way into every community, every family. GeneNova, once a beacon of hope, became a symbol of doom. Protesters stormed its gates, demanding answers, retribution, or both. The scientists, once hailed as heroes, were hunted like criminals. Some fled into the wilderness, hoping to escape the wrath of the survivors. Others took their own lives, unable to bear the guilt of what they had unleashed. Dr. Elaine Carter, the lead scientist behind Cure-1, recorded a final video from the ruins of her office. Her face was gaunt, her voice shaking. "We wanted to save the world," she said, tears streaming down her face. "We thought we were gods, but we were fools. Humanity wasn't ready for what we created." By the 12th month, civilization was unrecognizable. Cities lay in ruins, their streets littered with the remnants of humanity's hubris. The infected roamed freely, their howls echoing through the empty buildings. Survivors clung to life in the shadows, scavenging for supplies and avoiding the creatures that had once been their loved ones. Cure-1 once a symbol of hope, became a cursed word, a reminder of how ambition had undone an entire species. In the quiet corners of the earth, where the infected hadn't yet reached, survivors told stories around fires, tales of a world that once dared to dream too big, of a cure that had become the end of humanity. And in the ruins of Gene Nova, Cure One sat on dusty shelves, a testament to the thin line between salvation and annihilation.